Good morning and welcome. I have the distinct pleasure of announcing 3 candidates today who individually represents different elements of the Progressive Labor Party and who collectively will show what the PLP stands for. First, I'd like to announce the candidate for constituency number 20, Pembroke Southwest, Mr. Graham Mall. Graham is a true blue, or should I say true green Bermudian. Having been educated at Saltus Grammar School, then Bermuda College, Graham's early development was varied and brought him into contact with Bermudians from all walks of life. As a result, he celebrated every single opportunity to interact with his fellow Bermudians and took them as learning moments. Graham and his parents subscribed to Bermuda's original economic promise, and so he studied hospitality in Scotland at the University of Strathclyde Hotel School, eager to be on the front line of Bermuda's tourist industry. On his return, Graham not only jumped into the industry, but he also deeply pursued his love for music and became the first Bermudian to successfully pass the Royal Schools of Music's advanced certificate in the trombone. In keeping with his values, Graham dedicated to use his talents for his community, and for the last 30 years, he has been a member of the Somerset Brigade Band, where he currently serves as the Vice President. Under the PLP's Our Stories, Our Bermuda initiative, Graham wrote about the role of music in his life, saying, and I quote, "I remain convinced that music, as well as being the universal language, can also become a valuable tool to erase division and hatred while empowering Bermudian brothers and sisters of all races to eradicate injustice and inequality in Bermuda. It is for this reason that I know that Graham is equipped and suited to represent all of Bermuda." Graham's musical ability has given him the privilege, or should I say, his ability has given top international artists the privilege to work with Graham in some of Bermuda's largest concerts and shows. Graham has been a vocal protector of Bermudian opportunity, and in 2015, when the One Bermuda Alliance announced that it was going to allow foreign artists to perform in Bermuda without requiring a local component, Graham wrote a column representing the Bermuda Entertainment Union and saying, "My beliefs may not be shared by all, but I can unequivocally state that I am trying to make a positive difference for our island home by raising awareness of the importance of music and the arts in Bermuda," end quote. Graham, along with his wife April and their 2 children, represents that PLP supporter who is strong, fearless, stands for family, and who loves, sacrifices, and overcomes for their family and community. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Graham Mall.
Good morning, Mr. Party Leader, the Honorable David Burt, fellow candidates, party members, President of the Somerset Brigade Band, my family and my friends. I am honored to be here with you today. As the PLP candidate in constituency 20, Pembroke Southwest, I am committed to working diligently to ensure that the concerns of every constituent are heard and action is taken to propel all Bermudians forward collectively. Some of my constituents might ask, who is Graham Mole? I am a husband, a father, and a 5th-generation Bermudian who has been actively contributing to the Bermudian community for more than 30 years. I am a musician who understands that our tourism industry has faced many challenges in the past, but which still has enormous potential for growth in the future. The importance of our Bermudian culture cannot be overstated. Our world-class Bermudian entertainers and musicians must be actively involved and empowered to contribute to our future success as a tourism destination. I will work to ensure that we are nurturing and supporting tourism development by focusing upon the key factor which has historically been proven to bring return visitors to our island again and again, our culture. Many in constituency 20 might not be aware that I was a participant in the Edinburgh Tattoo in 2003. This event was televised globally to more than 100 million people. I will always feel very humbled and proud to have been given the opportunity to represent my country on the global stage then, just as I will be in the future if I am given the opportunity to represent constituency 20 in the House of Assembly. This pride that I have felt as a Bermudian has influenced my commitment to represent my community in the Bermuda Public Services Union as a chair and in the Bermuda Entertainment Union as a member. Both of these organizations have made valuable contributions to the island of Bermuda, and I personally feel have encouraged me to provide higher standards of representation to the voters of Constituency 20. I am convinced that a sustainable future for Bermuda has to depend upon the ability of all Bermudians to work towards a common goal. I believe in a Bermuda where we all recognize cultural differences within various groups and still live in harmony with mutual respect shared between these groups. This harmony sustains me and gives me hope for a brighter future for all Bermudians. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Next, it is my pleasure to introduce the Progressive Labor Party's candidate for constituency number 2, Southampton West, Party Chairman Scott Simmons. Constituency number 32. No confusion now.
Big surprise there.
Switching around everything. Scott Simmons is the party's current chairman, and he's provided good and dedicated service to the Progressive Labor Party for years, which culminated in his ascension to the party's chair in 2016. Scott is well known throughout our island and has served society in many different facets, from serving in the police service to serving in hospitality, from representing the Progressive Labor Party as public relations officer to representing successive premiers as communications consultant and press attaché. Scott represents that element of the PLP who places service before self and considers the right before the reward. Scott has often been seen on the flank or on the shoulders of other leaders, and his counsel has helped advise PLP leaders between 2003 to 2012. In addition to serving at the Cabinet Office, Scott served our country on government boards of tourism, works and engineering, and immigration. He also served on the board of the Bermuda Land Development Company and the West End Development Corporation, ensuring that the stewardship of public land is utilized with future generations in mind. When you are a committed, switched-on, and capable executive member of the Progressive Labor Party, you seek ways to serve, and that is precisely what Scott has done at each term, whether it was serving on party's committees, being the PRO, or as chairman. When the party needed assistance and stability, Scott has been a willing participant in every circumstance in which he thought he could offer assistance. By running for elected office, Scott is seizing the chance to use his gathered experience and wisdom to represent the constituents of constituency number 32, Southampton West, in the House of Assembly. Having offered himself in every role in the party, having served 2 premiers in cabinet, and after chairing the party, Scott again is seeking to serve. He has earned his right to represent the constituents of number 32, and I'm certain that his service to them will be as sincere and as energetic as his service to parties and former leaders has been. I am proud to announce Scott Simmons as the Progressive Labor Party's candidate for Southampton West, constituency number 32. I'm sorry.
Good morning, everyone. I acknowledge the presence of the party leader and, of course, my 2 distinguished colleagues here with me today. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the past and present executive committee members of Progressive Labor Party's constituency 32 chairman, Mr. David Green, deputy chairman, Mr. Delano Bulford, Joanne De Silva, Deanne Martin, and our agent, Charlene Webb. Your devotion to the PLP and constituency 32 and your hard work in the branch over the years is appreciated by the party and the members and supporters of the branch. Thank you again for your service. Since offering to serve in constituency 32, Southampton West, my ability to sit here today and accept to be the adopted candidate would not have been possible without the unwavering support of the Progressive Labour Party members and supporters in that constituency. While the list of members who stood in support of me is extensive, I wish today to acknowledge key members of the branch who embodied the true characteristics of togetherness, community commitment, and party spirit. I wish to recognize Mrs. Betty Wellman, Mr. and Mrs. Hall, Ms. Joyce DeRosa and Cal DeRosa, Diane Hunt, Ms. Donna Smith, Mr. Nigel Burgess, Mr. Quinton White, Mr. Wendell Hassel, the Lambert, Green, De Silva, and Landy families, Mr. Goodwin Bean and Mr. Michael Emery, Robert and June Horton, and Ms. Maxine Asdale. I also acknowledge those party faithful outside of the branch who supported us. Pastor Leroy Bean, Reverend Nicholas Tweed, and Ms. Karen Dill, and numerous party members who called and wrote emails. Your support was greatly appreciated. During my canvass of constituency 32, I have noted three areas that I wish to focus on today during my term as your parliamentary representative for the area should I be successful at the next general election. They are seniors, community infrastructure, and jobs and tourism. Our seniors are our greatest natural resource and remain the foundation for the Bermuda that we love and enjoy today. For many of our seniors, life has distilled to a constant struggle to balance shrinking earnings, to meet ever-increasing financial responsibilities. I have met many in the Bermuda Housing Trust residential complex in Rockaway, Southampton, and I commit to spend this term assisting my party in finding solutions that will financially, physically, and socially improve their quality of life in recognition of their sterling lives of individual and collective service. As the recent community activities at White Hill Field demonstrated, a commitment by the Bermuda government to work with the developers and the committee at White Hill Field to fully develop that site is long overdue, as championed by its parliamentary representative. It is my intention to make this redevelopment project a priority and work with all to restore this community treasure to its former glory. And lastly, the hotel development project at Morgan's Point must demonstrate a commitment to Bermuda by putting Bermudians first. As a provider of countless jobs for present and future generations of Bermudians, we must demand that the majority of jobs available at every stage of its redevelopment and operation be given to Bermudians. Our survival as a community absolutely depends on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Progressive Labour Party candidate for Pembroke West Central almost needs no introduction at all. If I may swerve for a moment here, it just occurred to me that our candidate does not need an introduction because he represents that final side of the Progressive Labour Party, the champion of labor. Had the OBA been a good government, one that respected its workers, in fact, all workers, if the One Bermuda Alliance had not hijacked our children's futures by giving away our airport to the Canadians, if the One Bermuda Alliance had not tried to force-feed Bermudians its selfish vision of immigration reform, and if perhaps the One Bermuda Alliance had been basically decent and honest regarding furlough days, I might need to give a fulsome introduction of our next candidate. But sure as night follows day, the One Bermuda Alliance has governed in a way that has caused thousands of Bermudians to fear for their mortgages, their children's educations, and their overall quality of life, to worry whether they will even be able to have the luxury of living paycheck to paycheck. And so they set the stage for labor disputes, the formation of the People's Campaign, and the rise of Jason Hayward, president of the Bermuda Public Services Union and the Progressive Labor Party's candidate for Pembroke West. Jason provides the final piece of the PLP element: fearless leadership, a staunch support for workers. A product of the Barclay Institute and the Bermuda College, Jason went on to earn his bachelor's and master's degree in business administration. Yes, you heard me correctly. The head of the Public Services Union has a master's in business. Jason's effectiveness as a labor leader is directly related to his upbringing, his education, but more importantly, his unbreakable bond to his people, us Bermudians. To say he is unbending when it comes to Bermudian workers' rights is an understatement. But Jason has combined his fierce protection of workers with sound qualifications and promotion. In addition to leading the Bermuda Public Services Union, Jason is also president of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress, is an executive member of the Caribbean Public Services Association, and serves on the board of the Bermuda Industrial Union's credit union. Professionally, during 11 years at the Department of Statistics, Jason was heavily involved in producing the reports for Gross Domestic Product, Retail Sales Index, and Bermuda's Balance of Payments. His experience in understanding the government's accounting processes and procedures means he is well positioned to ensure the public purse works for everyone and not those at the upper echelon whose voices are regularly heard. Jason holds a Level 7 certificate in Strategic Management and Leadership from the Chartered Management Institute and served as an executive member of the North Village Community Club between 2007 and 2014. As the proud father of 9-year-old twin boys and a 4-year-old daughter and a committed Christian, Jason personifies all that is promised if you work hard, put the people first, and have a strong moral fiber. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, and I'm incredibly proud to present my friend and the president of the Bermuda Public Services Union and the candidate for Pembroke West, Mr. Jason Hayward.
Good morning to the party leader, David Burt, fellow candidates, family, friends, and the media. I am humbled by the opportunity to represent the wonderful people of Pembroke West. I am committed to ensuring that the next PLP government is one that has a priority focused on people, their family, and the community. I am here today representing PLP's commitment to labor. I am here today representing PLP's commitment to putting people first. And most importantly, I am here today representing the future of the Progressive Labor Party. Over the past decade, I have demonstrated my commitment to the community and the people of Bermuda, whether it be coaching youth football teams, participating in Salvation Armies, food runs, or being a vocal candidate for equality, jobs, and justice in our community. My position as president of the BPSU and as the president of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress means that I've had an unwavering commitment to the working class families of this country. I am a strong leader that understands the importance of having a vision that inspires and motivates people. The PLP's Vision 2025 is a framework that will lead Bermuda on a continued path of success. This is a vision that I boldly support, one that puts the people first, one that is in alignment with my personal constitution. I strongly believe that the vision focuses in on the critical areas of education, healthcare, and jobs. Our education system has been abandoned, and the PLP's Vision 2025 will ensure that we work with our critical stakeholders to ensure that the education system is one that represents a standard of excellence. Healthcare must be accessible and affordable to all, and PLP's Vision 2025 provides us with that framework. So we have healthcare that all have access to. In addition to jobs, it's important that we get our people back to work and that full employment of Bermudians is a national priority. The PLP's Vision 25 provides us with the necessary training and opportunities to get our people back to work. I am no stranger to the area of Pembroke West. I spent many of my teen days roaming this area. I have many friends, lifelong friends in this area, which were made from my time spent at the West Pembroke Primary School, my time spent at the Western Stars Poets Club, and my time spent at the Pembroke Community Club. Brothers and sisters, the residents of constituency 19 can be assured that I will represent and uphold the best interests at all times. I will not waver from my commitment to serve, and I truly believe that serving people equates to serving God. Thank you.